Hello readers, so yesterday we practiced identifying text features in our mentor text, Tax Dollars at Work. Today we're going to practice identifying the main idea of each paragraph and then summarizing each paragraph. So here in front of me I have a strategy called Chunk Put It Together. We are going to look at our Tax Dollars at Work story. We're going to read it through from beginning to end if you haven't already. And we're going to continue reading to help us learn this strategy. So as we begin to read, I want you to listen and I want you to think and begin talking, think about what is being talked about throughout your paragraph. So you're going to read, you're going to stop, and we're just going to look at that first paragraph. So I'm going to read and stop. My next step, I'm going to jot down some notes off to the side about this paragraph. Okay. Then you're going to go through and look at all of your notes for each paragraph, combine them, and see what is this mostly about. I want you to find the main idea of the story based on all of the paragraphs that you read. So what I'm going to do, I am going to read through the mentor text with you. We're going to just think and talk about what that paragraph is saying. You are going to write down some notes as I'm reading, and then in your mentor text in Benchmark, you are going to put your notes in your copy. As I read, I want you to think about the question, what is most important in what you just read? You're going to use your own words and paraphrase. So let's go ahead and take a look at our first paragraph. I'm going to read, like I said, and think about the question. What is most important in what I just read? Use your own words. So we already identified that this is our introduction paragraph that we're going to read, but I want you to give me 2 or 3 bullet points on the side of what this paragraph is talking about. Citizens have the right to vote and be treated fairly under the Maine law. They also have the duty and obligation to pay taxes. Taxes are a percentage that must be paid on money earned and property owned. So if you would like, you can stop after each paragraph and just write a really quick bullet point just on what that paragraph was talking about. So I'm going to do that. So for that first paragraph, I just wrote citizen rights and duties. It talks about their rights to vote and their duties to pay taxes. Paragraph 2. Federal tax money is used for government services and projects as well as the military. Programs such as Social Security, Medicaid, and unemployment are all funded with federal tax money. It is also used to pay for many state services. So this paragraph was talking to me about federal taxes and what it's used for. So that's paragraph 2. And my last paragraph. State governments use tax money in similar and different ways. Like the federal government, states also spend money on critical health, social, and infrastructure programs, but their spending may affect people's everyday lives. So this is talking about state taxes and uses. So talking about what they use it for again, right? So for this next paragraph, I'm going to read and I'm going to want you as a reader to try it. We'll move on to public health and safety. I will do that one. And then you're going to do education. So by the end of this video, you should be able to fill in introduction and public health safety with my ideas and transportation and education with yours. So transportation. Government officials and agencies handle the infrastructure of states. An infrastructure is the base or foundation of a system. One part of an infrastructure is transportation, the care of roads, highways, and public buses and subways. Highways, Streets, bridges, and tunnels connect communities. It is the state government's responsibility to maintain them so that the people can travel and transport goods safely. State workers build and maintain roads and highways. States collect taxes, tolls, and other fees from citizens to help pay for this work. So here I'm going to write a note for transportation. I'm just going to write you do, because this is the part that you're going to practice. So I helped you with this one. You are going to do this one. We're going to do this one together. I'm going to ask you some questions as I read. I want you to think about, and then you are going to do this one again. So public health and safety. Really quick, I just want to go back actually. For this one, I want you to think, what are important details in this paragraph? What were 2 or 3 important details in this whole section that you could write off to the side? Again, you can use sticky notes or you can just use the text box. So, public health and safety. Same thing, we're going to read and think about what important details are for this paragraph. And just think about what taxes are, what they're being used for, and what they're talking about. So taxpayer money is also used to protect the health and safety of citizens. State governments run hospitals to care for sick people. State police patrol the highways to keep people safe. They also monitor the grounds of parks and other public spaces owned by the state. So here they're talking about tax money, right? So what were the main ideas for that paragraph? So taxpayer money is used to protect people and provide police, right? So some of the examples that they gave were, like I said, the hospitals to take care of people, patrol, and keeping parks safe. So tax money is used to provide state care and patrol. Okay. If a child is missing, the state police can issue an Amber Alert. The special broadcast tells emergency service and civilians in a region that a child could be in danger. Everyone can then work together to locate and return the child's safety. So public health and safety taxes are also used for this Amber Alert service. So taxes are used for Amber Alerts. So you all are going to also do this one, so this education. I will read it, and then you are going to give me that main idea. So education to prevent the autocratic control of the nation's education system. Individual state governments are responsible for educating their citizens. They work with cities and towns to set up school districts, which are run by local school boards. The state government gives school boards some of the money they need to hire teachers and purchase books and other materials. Most state governments fund about 50% of the money needed to run public schools. The rest comes from the federal and local government. Most states also have state colleges and universities where students can seek a higher education. State schools are public institutions and are often less expensive than private schools. Funds for education and health make up the largest part of most budgets. So this, I feel like, can be combined into one main idea for education. So it talks about how the state provides 50%. And then I want you to also add your own point. So this is mine. This one is going to be for you to do. The state government also steps in after an emergency or disaster, such as a hurricane or a blizzard, when workers and volunteers rescue people who are trapped. Workers and volunteers rescue people who are trapped or injured. They assist with cleanup after a natural disaster too. A state government also works to protect people from these kinds of emergencies in the future. For instance, the government might build stronger seawalls to stop floods during a storm. So my main idea for this section is just one paragraph with state government's help with emergencies and disasters. It gave you some examples, but that was the main idea for that one. Last but not least, you are going to work on your main ideas for working together. I would like for you to read this section and write 3 or 4 main ideas for this section. There is also going to be a part 2 to this video, so that way we can work on putting all of our main ideas together into one main idea for the whole story or section. Good luck.